13 years, 11 months, 3 weeks, 18 minutes, and 17 seconds. That's how long it took me to plat Call of Duty World at War. Thank you, PSN Profiles. My first trophy was collected November 25th, 2008, so very close to the game's launch. The last trophy I collected, aka the Platinum Trophy, was obtained on November 9th, 2022. Now obviously I wasn't avidly pursuing this plat for almost 14 straight years. I mean, come on, give me some credit here. What stopped me from getting it sooner was that I actually thought the online servers were gone and the Platinum Trophy had become unobtainable. But surprise, you can still get the Platinum Trophy, and when I found that out, I immediately picked up where I left off. If you don't know anything about this Platinum run, it's one of the most infamous for its sheer difficulty. It has one of the most punishing single-player campaigns that, of course, you have to beat on the hardest difficulty. Plus, some of the chapter-specific trophies are absolutely nuts. Now, trophy hunting was much more difficult back in 2008 and 2009, but this one was one of the worst that came out. Even though I absolutely hated doing this platinum run, I respect it at the end of the day, and I'm not just saying that because I have the plat now. It's a challenge that gives no fucks about you. You either do it or you don't. So the best revenge against it and the sheer hell it put me through is to give people the information they need to beat it. And beat it efficiently. That way, more people can have this oppressive platinum in their trophy collection. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do in this trophy guide video, because I'm petty like that. This is Platinum Hunters, the show where we take a look at everything it takes to get the Platinum Trophy and whether it's worth the effort to achieve it. Don't forget to subscribe if you like more of these kinds of videos. I've got tons more you can check out. Who knows, you might just find your next Platinum Trophy. An 8 out of 10 rating, aka crushing on the Platinum Hunter scale, I think is the right place to score this game. As much as I'm dying to put something in the Nightmare difficulty tier, I don't think this quite belongs there. But it is definitely the toughest plat we have covered so far in all 73 episodes of the show. Your first task is to grind through the story trophies, and yes, you have to do them on veteran mode to get the plat. I cannot stress this enough. If you are not a seasoned Call of Duty player or someone who has not played any of the campaigns on the hardest difficulty, you should probably do 2 playthroughs of the game. Get your feet wet on a lower difficulty so you are not surprised about what you're getting into when you finally start that veteran mode playthrough. Then you have 1 collectible trophy to get and a bunch of chapter specific trophies which you can easily get through chapter select. It's great that nothing is missable in the game, even though it's from an era that was still struggling with how to avoid putting missable trophies in their games. Then you just have to do 3 relatively quick online trophies. There are no trophies for PvP multiplayer, so rest easy. It's all co-op based. As of the recording of this video, the online servers are still up, and I'll update the description if that should change. Check there in the description to see if you can still collect these 3 trophies and the plat. I don't want to waste too much more time because we have a lot of ground to cover. Last thing I'll mention quickly is that I have more helpful guides in the description below to assist you. Let's get this section out of the way first, because this answers the question of why you can still get the Platinum Trophy. The reason we were worried in the first place is thanks to these 3 online co-op trophies. The first one is called Get Your Left Foot Wet, and it's awarded to you for completing a match of campaign co-op. World at War is the first COD game where you can play the campaign with your friends up to 4 players. No, you can't use this to beat and get all the story trophies we will talk about later, but it's still fun to tackle these missions with your friends. Get 2 or 4 people together, pick any game's chapter on any difficulty, and beat it to the end for the trophy. Seems simple enough. That is, if you can find anybody to play with you. Anybody! The biggest hurdle to getting this trophy is matchmaking with people, because it literally says there are less than 100 people playing these modes. As of the recording of this video, I tried to replicate the trophy for footage to no avail. I couldn't matchmake with anybody. The only people online were playing zombies. So to get this trophy, you're going to most likely have to find a friend to help you to get the trophy. Same situation with the Get Your Right Foot Wet trophy that wants you to complete a match of competitive co-op. This is similar to camping co-op, but now you're competing for points. You just have to finish 1 round in this mode as well, any chapter and any difficulty. So when you look for the person to help you, see if they need that trophy too. Having said all that, if you want this last online trophy, you're gonna need more than 1 friend to help you out. The trophy is called Blue Ribbon, and now you need to load up a competitive co-op match with 4 players in it and come in first place. Matchmaking is going to be out of the question unless you get very, very lucky. It's best to just find 3 other people and just trade off who is going to win at the end of the match. These trophies seem like they are rudimentary and easy, and yes, they are. They are honestly 3 easy, stress-free online trophies that won't take you more than 2 hours to get. But because of the fact that 14 plus other COD games have come out since this game was released, of course, nobody is playing online. Okay, here we go. The meat and potatoes of this platinum run. Next, we will focus on all of the campaign trophies you can unlock by playing through the full, brutal World at War story. There are 4 story trophies up for grabs just playing through the different missions fought on a few different fronts. You have the American missions where you take on the Japanese, and the Russian missions where you fight against the Germans under the rule of the bad word regime that I can't say here on YouTube. There are 15 missions here to brave through, and you get the War Hero trophy for beating the story on any difficulty. For this game, I highly recommend considering a run of the game on a lower difficulty first to get your feet wet. Get used to the levels and understand what you're in for, because holy shit, you're going to need it. Your first run is also a good time to collect this game's only set of collectibles. You get the Grave Robber trophy by collecting all 13 death cards. There is one planted in every mission except the missions Black Cats and Blood and Iron, because they are vehicle-based missions. These death cards are actually really cool because for each one you collect, that card will modify the game in a certain way. 8 of Hearts cause headshots to make heads explode. 4 of Clubs, enemies take less damage. The Joker, you can only use your knife and grenades. These effects can only be used in co-op mode, but they make these collectibles absolutely worth finding. I've got a guide down below to show you where all 13 of these are located, so you can go nuts with them. Whether you beat the campaign mode in 2 playthroughs or grit your teeth and do it in 1, you have to play the game on the hardest difficulty, Veteran, so you can pop the Hardened War Hero trophy for clearing the game on Hardened or Veteran mode. Wait a minute, you just said you have to play on Veteran mode, but the trophy said Hardened or Veteran. You see these traps that the Japanese soldiers set up? I just caught you in one of them. Yes, the trophy does say beat the campaign on Hardened or Veteran. That's true. But there are 15 story trophies, so one for each chapter, that say beat the chapter on Veteran difficulty. So essentially, you are beating the whole game on Veteran mode by chasing after these 15 trophies. Nice try, but if you want this plat, you're gonna have to go through the hell I went through to get it. And actually the word hell is a pretty princess way of describing this mode. I'm not being hyperbolic when I say this is the most grueling, difficult, hard mode I have ever played in my life. This mode will grab your soul, stab it with bayonets, bless it with bullets, drop grenades all over it, and then shit all over it, AVGN Bugs Bunny style. On this difficulty, you will have absolutely no problems getting the Purple Heart Trophy, which is dishonorably awarded to you for dying 20 times in a row on a single level. So I think that gives you a grim indication of how infamous this hard mode playthrough is. You go down in 2 to 4 consecutive hits. Enemies will continue spawning from the monster closets even after you cleared them all out. You'll be magically shitting grenades like 5 or 6 at a time while you're in cover, even if there's a roof over your head and other shenanigans like that. Not every chapter is vile, I guess. Like the first 2 chapters kinda ease you into it. Plus the vehicle missions are pretty breezy even on veteran mode. Then some of the Russian missions like Vendetta are not so bad. But some of the early missions like Hard Landing and Their Land, Their Blood are the missions where the difficulty really starts to ramp up. And then Burn 'em Out and Fearless are awful slogs that unveil the real pace that you're going to deal with for the rest of the game. The last 2 missions, oh my god, the last 2 missions are absolutely vile, putrid. I'm spiraling right now just thinking about the 5+ hours I spent trying to beat Heart of the Reich and Downfall. Death after death trying to storm this stupid building where a certain mustached fellow is being held up. But even after your spirit is broken and you've died 50 or 100+ times, you gotta keep pushing forward if you want this plat. The most important thing in veteran mode is to keep moving up at all costs. You could be a skilled and proficient shooter player and still have a rough time with this game if you're not pushing forward. You have AI on your team that often do a piss poor job backing you up, but if you can move up to a spot further up, or better yet to the next checkpoint, your AI fire team will help take care of the onslaught. Checkpoints are a breath of fresh air, and sometimes it's better to just sprint through the path of least resistance to pop the next checkpoint. Picking off targets and quickly moving up is the best advice I can give you, because those enemies you just took out will quickly be replaced, and hiding in cover too long will get you buried in grenades. Most of your major moves are going to come down to sheer luck, but there is somewhat of a strategy that you can rely on, although it depends on your situation. This whole ordeal is often going to feel like bashing your head against a wall till the wall eventually breaks. But if you can make it to the end of the mission Downfall and collect these 15 veteran mission trophies, you will have something to truly be proud of. This is not easy to beat, and there are not too many other campaigns out there harder than this. Maybe Spec Ops The Line, or some of the id Software shooters like Wolfenstein and Doom, but this one is definitely one of the worst in the Call of Duty franchise, that's for sure. But this is not where the trophy run ends, as we have a lot more trophies, including the next one called Throw a 6.5. You have to complete a single level without dying on Veteran mode or Hardened. Scared you, right? Don't put yourself through more torment. Do it on Hardened mode, and you can get it even on a vehicle mission like Black Cats or Blood and Iron. Maybe even the first mission is okay to do it on. With all that out of the way, what's left in this Platinum run is a series of chapter-specific trophies with a few miscellaneous trophies thrown in for good measure. Some of these are the most nerve-wracking trophies I've ever tried to get, and the delay on the PS3 trophy pops doesn't help quell my ever-brewing insanity. Like, Jesus Christ. At least now you don't have to play them on veteran mode for these trophies. and I absolutely encourage you to drop the difficulty down as low as allowed to get these trophies. Back to being a recruit. Some minor spoilers here for these trophies, so I'm just issuing a small warning here, although this game's old enough and I don't really care that much. Let's load in the mission Semper Fi so we can get the Saved Private Ryan trophy. There is a soldier named Private Ryan, and you have to save him from a kamikaze attack right at the beginning of the mission. Stick to this man like glue until he runs to this hut, and then when the soldier attacks, quickly take out that Japanese soldier. These moments go down quick, and you might even get it by accident, but you can restart the checkpoint if you do mess it up. Semper Fi is also a good mission to do your own kamikaze to get the trophy of the same name. What you'll have to do is beat any of these levels using only melee and grenades on regular difficulty or higher. I found this particular mission to be one of the easiest ones to just run through with your knife, and it's short and has no forced gun moments. Onward to level 2 with the Little Resistance mission, where you can get the Weapon of Mass Destruction trophy. Later in the level, you'll be able to call in airstrikes, and this is where you can have some fun if you know where to place the target. The trophy wants you to call in an airstrike and bomb at least 4 soldiers with that one strike. This can be done pretty easily, but the best place to drop it is beside the building with the machine gun nests. There are a ton of soldiers just hanging out there. You'll probably get the Close Shave trophy in this level too, although this trophy can be obtained in some of the other later levels. Close Shave is awarded to you for surviving a bonsai attack. Just hit the melee button when you get pinned down to avoid death, and get this easy guaranteed trophy. Continuing on, as the American forces, we touch down in the hard landing level to collect the No Safe Place trophy for burning an enemy out of a tree using the flamethrower. Yes, this game gives you a flamethrower to cause tons of chaos with. Closer to the middle of the level, you will have the flamethrower in your hands, and you can start burning trees to singe some hiding soldiers for your trophy escapades. I'm pretty sure I got the Snake in the Grass trophy in this level too, but my memory is a little bit hazy. It's for taking out a hiding Japanese soldier before he jumps out and attacks you. This isn't level specific, and you can get it on the later levels, but there are lots of hiding enemies here in the bushes and trees. Just be quicker and smarter than them. The first Russian mission, called Vendetta, is where the fun trophies are stashed. These 2 trophies are very iconic for the old guard of the Call of Duty fanbase. Right in the beginning of the mission, when you nearly avoid death with Reznov, you can get the trophy called The Professional. For this trophy, you will have to shoot all of General Amsel's men and dog, don't forget the dog, without reloading your gun. Very important you don't prematurely reload like I do all the time in multiplayer and get punished for it. Sad face. So you have 5 shots to take out 7 soldiers and a dog, so we're going to have to find ways to double up. Your first pair of soldiers is on the right side, so wait until the 2 soldiers line up so the shot will penetrate both soldiers. Plus, you have to wait until there is enough noise overhead to muffle the noise of your shot, which will avoid alerting all the soldiers in the area. Now you have the soldiers in the middle, and again, wait until they line up and there's overhead hustle and bustle. Repeat the same steps for the pair on the left side now, and these are the ones you need to have the most patience for, as they will line up together, but not for very long. I understand if you need 2 shots to take care of them, that's fine. Now with 6 soldiers taken out, you have 1 more soldier left and the dog. Depending on how many shots you have left, you can either take both of them out with your last shot, which admittedly is much harder, or you can take them out individually if you still have 2 in the chamber. If you miss a shot and mess up, just alert the dog to rip your throat out, and then you get to try it again. Doubling up targets and being patient is the way to go here for this trophy. Then we have the other iconic trophy from this platinum run called Gunslinger. You collect this trophy at the very end of the level when General Amsel is on the run, and for the trophy, you have to assassinate General Amsel with a pistol. That's right, we are not using the sniper rifle, which is the weapon that makes sense, but instead with the weapon that definitely gets you stylish bragging rights, but also makes your job a lot harder. This courtyard is massive, and without the ability to zoom in, it makes for a great challenge to keep track of Amsel's movements. You essentially have to know Amsel's movement patterns by heart so you can be in position before he starts making mad dashes from cover to cover. You're also going to get shot at by other soldiers too, so consider clearing some of them out first, then switch to the pistol to start gunning down the grimy general. He's going to try and make his getaway in a car that shows up, so pop the soldier's chauffeur so he can't make an easy escape. His last resort is a mad dash out of the courtyard, and this is where you're going to want to unload shots and pray one of those shots is lucky enough to drop him. Spraying pistol shots trying to hit Amsel is going to leave you with no pistol ammo quickly. Thankfully, you can take advantage of an oversight by the Treyarch devs. Use this glitch that gives you 80 pistol shots by first emptying out your pistol ammo to 0. Then when the game automatically switches over to your sniper rifle, immediately switch back to your pistol and wham! You will have maximum pistol ammo to fire off with reckless abandon. Now, on the note of the pistol, you won't have this on you when you start the mission. There is only one place where you can pick one up, so make sure you grab it. It's found in the middle of the chapter when you're doing the 1v1 sniper battle with the soldier in the other building. 1v1 me, bro. Grab the pistol and bring it to the end of the level. If you can ping General Amsel with the pistol, which will most likely be the result of a lucky shot, mad props, because this is not easy to do. It took me upwards of 20 to 30 tries to do this, but I'm so happy to finally have this legendary trophy in my collection. Apparently, this next trophy is easily gotten also in the Vendetta chapter, but I have my own strategy to collect it. The trophy is Rough Economy, and you have to gun down 3 enemies with 1 shot. The Vendetta chapter definitely works because a sniper shot is powerful enough to down multiple targets at once, as we saw in the Professional trophy. So once you get to the middle of the chapter where there's tons of targets, you can get it with a bit of timing and luck. But honestly, the best way to get this trophy is Zombies mode. Good old Zombies mode. I love it. You'll need to get the insta-kill power-up and line up some zombies, and that will easily get you this trophy, provided you have a weapon with bullet penetration. Shotguns don't work for this, as they are shells, not bullets, and there is some general glitchiness with this trophy. But I honestly think that zombies is the way to go if you want to get this trophy the easiest. More fun using the flamethrower with this next trophy. For the Firestarter Trophy, you now have to beat an entire level only using a flamethrower. Like the Kamikaze Trophy, melee, grenades, and explosives are okay to use in a limited fashion. The 2 levels that you can get this trophy on are the missions Burn 'em Out and Blowtorch and Corkscrew, because they start you off with the flamethrower right off the beginning. Burn everything in your path and make it to the end of the level to get this trophy. Moving on, I think this next trophy is kind of annoying because it doesn't have a counter, and sometimes you can hit the target and it just doesn't count. It's the Iron Fist Trophy, and inside the Blood and Iron mission where you pilot the tank, you have to destroy all the towers and bunkers surrounding your path. There are a total of 21 targets to destroy, and I have a guide for you to follow along. This should be a straightforward trophy to collect, but without a counter, you have no way of knowing if it counted when you shot at it. Plus sometimes these things take multiple shots to take them down, like the bunkers, so you really have to be thorough when you're doing this. Make sure you take your time intently follow the guide and level these structures right to the ground. This next trophy is also mildly annoying, but thankfully I got it on my second try. Ruthless is the name, and it's obtained at the very end of the Ring of Steel mission while you're chasing down opposing forces while sitting on a mounted tank gun. You need to mow down 15 enemies in the brief time you are mounted on this thing. This section is on rails, so there is no stopping or slowing down the tank to make sure you pick off stragglers. This fact is where this trophy can be a bit trying because the trophy won't pop until the mission is over, and therefore if that delayed trophy pop doesn't happen, you're gonna have to run through the entire chapter all over again to get to that specific moment. I won't say the trophy is impossible to get on your first try, but you will have to adapt quickly to the awkward physics of the turret gun, as it's not exactly accurate and fluid to shoot with. So, with a bit of patience here too, if you miss the trophy, don't fly off the handle, just run through it again and try to get the trophy. We are down to just 5 more trophies left in this trophy guide for this very coveted Platinum Trophy. But if you've been to hell and back and made it this far into the video, drop a like to let me know you're here. All in all, the rest of the Platinum run is pretty smooth, except for one very, very annoying trophy. I always fretted trying to get this trophy when I was little, but going and getting it now, it actually wasn't so bad. While you're in the subway part of the eviction mission, aim to get the Shot in the Dark trophy, where you have to pop 10 enemies while the lights are out. What happens is that the air raid bombings overhead cause the lights in the subway section to go out temporarily. So in that case, all you have to do is wait for the bombings to happen. Then you can start shooting the enemies. Pay attention to when the lights come back on, and then rinse, repeat. I thought the trophy was going to be more complicated than that, but it really isn't. You can still miss it if you advance too quickly through it, but it's a lot more straightforward a trophy than I remember. Now we have 2 trophies that you can collect in the Black Cats level, where you are now a gunner on a gunship. The level is split up into 2 sections, and there is a trophy up for grabs in each section. So we'll cover the Lights Out trophy first, where you have to shoot out all the spotlights on the 3 cargo ships you have to gun down. As your plane flies back and forth over these ships, you will notice that there are a bunch of spotlights mounted to them. There are a total of 6 of these, so 1 mounted on the front of the ship and 1 mounted on the back for each cargo ship. Just take them out while you fly by, and they're pretty easy to spot because of the light they're shining. After you destroy the cargo ships, you will move on to the second section of the level, and this is where shit hits the fan trophy-wise. Like Voldemort, the mere mention of this trophy name sends chills down people's spines. Sum of all zeros. Sum of all zeros. The trophy you get for shooting down 45 Japanese zeros in the Black Cats mission. This is one of the most annoying and difficult chapter challenge trophies I have come across trophy hunting. And seeing how long ago this game came out, that's a long ass time. The problem with this trophy is that you have that shaky and inaccurate turret problem like the Ruthless Trophy, but now you have fast moving planes as targets instead of soldiers. These planes fly above you, below you, alongside of you, and in most cases, towards you, even in formations. You really never feel in total control of this turret, so when a formation of planes is blazing by you, your reflexes have to be so fast so you can gun down 1 or 2 of the zeros in that formation. It's almost like you're predicting where they're gonna go. And you don't want to completely miss them because you have a very limited amount of these zeros flying by you before the level is over. About 55 to 60 of them. so you can't miss too many of them or you'll have to start the mission all over again from the very beginning. There's a counter on the top left of the screen to give you some idea of how you're doing, but in the heat of that last section where the plane is floating on the water and waves of zeros are just relentlessly coming at you, that's the part that will make you or break you. It helps to watch the video I've included down below to see the patterns of the planes, but after that you just have to keep trying and keep persevering. But be warned, this trophy can add up to hours of frustration, and it could be one of the trophies in this run that will wall you off from getting the plat. Our last 2 trophies of this god-forsaken run are found in the very last American mission, Breaking Point, and thankfully they're pretty easy. First we got Mortar-dom, which you collect by blowing up 8 soldiers with the thrown mortars you're given halfway into the mission. You get an unlimited supply of these things and they are fun as hell to use. Before you throw them in the required places, chuck them at some unfortunate soldiers, and really you can get this pretty easily without trying. And finally, we have the Guardian Angel Trophy for saving Sergeant Roebuck in the final battle for Okinawa. This little interaction is similar to the one with Private Ryan in the first mission. You have a false surrender, one of the soldiers goes for the attack, and all you have to do is get to him before Sergeant Roebuck gets messed up. You just need to stick to your man like glue here and pay attention, and that will get you your final trophy. Is it over? It's over. It's over. It's over! What a pain in the ass trophy run. Worse than anything we have covered so far. Those last 2 missions can burn in hell. So if you survive these 2 tours of duty, died hundreds of times while doing it, completed every mission on veteran difficulty, collected all the chapter trophies like Sum of All Zeros, and collected the rest of the trophies, congratulations! You will be honorably awarded the Platinum Trophy for Call of Duty World at War. I'm too tired to make fun of the Platinum Trophy name. Even just reliving this Platinum experience is exhausting. You thought we were done, son? Get out of that trench and bring home the glory. Yes, there are 20 more DLC trophies, of course, but thankfully they are related to the zombie maps that were released post-launch. We didn't have any zombie-related trophies in this plat run, so I'm okay with this. There are 2 more sets of trophies, one for Map Pack 2 dedicated to the Shino Numa zombie map, and the Darice zombie map in Map Pack 3. You don't need to buy Map Pack 1 to get 100% of the trophies. These DLC trophies are released in the era of trophy hunting, when they just tack them on to the bottom of the trophy list so they look like they're required for the platinum, but they are not. Just the ones we covered in this video. I may do a separate video covering these zombie mode related trophies, but this all depends on time and if I can find a squad. You need a squad for this. If you're really hankering for a video covering these trophies, let me know down in the comments section below. Overall, this Platinum Trophy is not going to be for the faint of heart. This trophy run is going to test your patience. It might even have you breaking a controller or 2. It might even turn you off of trophy hunting in general, and I'm sure that this game has done that to some people already. But if you're looking for a challenge and you are willing to dig deep to persevere, this platinum run will reward you with glory. It's a platinum you can brag about to people who understand the weight and gravity of the situation, and they will respect you. This sheer test of fortitude of what veteran mode throws at you is crazy, especially at the very end with Heart of the Reich and Downfall. And then there are some chapter specific trophies that even seasoned trophy hunters will have a bit of a tough time with. This platinum is not for casual hunters at all. I have many other guides on this channel for you if you want to have a good time collecting a Platinum Trophy. Vile is the word that keeps popping into my head when I think of the time I spent doing Veteran Mode. So why bother with this Platinum Trophy at all? Well, there is a satisfaction that comes from rising to the occasion and enduring this difficult challenge in pursuit of something rare, even if that something doesn't have a physical form and arguably has an adverse effect on your state of being. But it's a human thing to want things you don't have, and for many hardcore players, we want to have this accolade. So while I don't recommend this to everyone, but for the small subset of trophy hunters that want to go the distance, I wish you the best of luck. I also consider you a hardcore trophy hunter if you have this Platinum Trophy. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you really feel how I felt getting this Platinum Trophy. It was annoying. Oh my god, I still remember vividly, even though it's been almost 10 years since I had to do Veteran Mode. I hope that some people who watch this get the Platinum Trophy to make me feel better about making this guide and reliving these moments in my head. Let me know if I helped you in any way. And of course, subscribe for more trophy guide videos just like this. I got more coming. I hope all your trophy hunting expeditions go incredibly well, and peace out.